Come here. Get off.
Hey y'all, welcome back to this week's episode of the Turn On. Today, we are going to give you a little quickie. Now, most of y'all know Killa is my soulmate. I am her secondary soulmate. I say secondary only because she currently has a partner. Well, she not currently. She has a partner, and I'm trying to be respectful. Really, I'm her first soulmate. But we feel like y'all know about us, but not everything about us.
I mean,
we're
they
gonna
know
share.
a lot. They know a lot.
And how will we share? Interviews, more interviews. So we have a few questions we're gonna ask one another. Right,
Yeah.
Killa?
Yeah, we're going to do this.
Okay, so let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. Y'all are gonna love it when we start having video, because I stay dating.
It's a lot happening.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Okay,
I'm missing
so
it.
you want to start it off?
Sure. So the first question for you, E, is outside of the show, what do you do with your time?
Outside of the show, what do I do with my time? I saw this meme recently, and I think were you the one that sent it to me? That said, like, I realized most of the time spent with my girlfriends is like going out to eat.
Yes, I did send you that.
Yeah, like
90% of our social interaction. Do you know that the person who tweeted that was my intern years and years ago?
Oh my gosh! I mean,
The world
she's
is
so
tiny.
true, and why are we that
Right.
old to have? Yeah. So yeah, like I enjoy spending time with the people that I love. I really love the relationships that I have in life. So I do a lot of like going to people's houses, staring at them, kissing on their babies, all of that. Y'all know I have a full-time job, a regular 9 to 5 that I work. I'm also a mother to a fantabulous little guy. Um, and I'm working on my work as the erotic revolutionist. It has been something that I kind of grew into through this podcast. Um, but I am currently getting certification in sex education, whatever that means. And I am kind of building my empire. So watch out, y'all. Erica's gonna be peddling good orgasms soon. Not like giving them, but like the
Honestly,
gospel.
aren't you
orgasms.
already peddling orgasms? I want to back up to something that you just said. You said sex education certification or whatever that means. Let's dig there. What you mean?
So I I want to do sex education, right? We kind of came to that. And I feel like I lack some of the basics around sex education. Like I know what I like, I know what I know, but I don't know everything. And not that I need to know everything, but I do feel like I need to have a better foundation if I'm going to be the person that people come to for questions, advice, at least like know where to point them to get answers. So I am a part of, I attend classes with this company organization. And I am doing classes pretty much, they're like an online web based. You kind of track out your own time period. And I do classes, and it gives me just the foundation: sexual communication, intro to kink. The one thing that I like about the program, it is a little hippie, but they are trying their best. It's run by a white woman, but she's trying her best to make it recognize that people of color exist and fuck. Um, I say whatever that means because I am now starting to kind of reject the idea of certification. So, I am still doing the classes, but I'm picking and choosing what I'm doing. So I will probably finish the program, not having finished all the coursework that comes with it, just because I feel like I don't need to do I don't need to like write a 15-page paper about ASECT, which is the certification bodies. I don't need to I shouldn't have to write a 15-page paper about like ethics in sex education because I don't want to get ASECT certified. I just feel like I
Mm.
need for myself to have a more organized way of learning this information.
Mhm.
And I'm also like meeting really dope people that are doing the same thing I'm doing and getting some really cool resources. So I am sort of kind of getting certified. I'm just collecting knowledge.
Okay. Like Infinity Stones. I'm
Yeah,
like
like
real deep
children.
into I'm deep into a Marvel Cinematic Universe watch right now. So Infinity Stones
Oh,
are constantly on my mind. Don't make that face. So I
okay.
used to, I like a good superhero
Yeah,
sci-fi thing.
I was
So
gonna ask like what. Well, okay. First, you answer that the same question. What do you do
okay.
outside of the turn on, and then I'll add my other question in later.
Okay. Uh shit, so much. I am an author, a journalist, and an editorial consultant outside of co hosting and executive producing this show with you. So basically, my work centers around um, bringing the lived experiences and advocacy and joy of Black folks and other folks of the color to the center of the page. Like, we get pushed to the margins all the fucking time. And I'm all about putting us right where we belong, in the middle, where
Fuck
everybody
that.
can see
I want to be
us.
the center.
Yes. And so, of course, this show really features into that overall mission of all of my work. Um, I write books. Right now, I'm writing a book about, it's currently called Complex Saviors. I don't know if
I
that's what it's
love
going to
that
be
name.
called when it's
I was just
over.
about to shout it.
I just don't
Complex
know.
saviors.
I'm just not sure if it without a subtitle gets you all the way to what the book is about. So I'm constantly thinking about it even as I'm working. But so the book is about the ways that racism kills Black women and girls and the ways that we save ourselves. And it's been pretty cool because I'm, talking to all of these folks like advocates and activists and policymakers and doulas and doctors and just all kinds of really dope Black women and non-binary folk who are doing the work, both locally and nationally. And the hope is that when folks finish the book, like that I have pulled together all of these um, modes of saving our lives that work and that are replicable across the countries. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on. It's been kind of difficult to do because I've been battling with my own health issues and honestly writing about the ways that this system has us fucked up while getting fucked up by the system has been tough.
I was gonna ask. I mean, I think it could seem like what you do, like you write about a bunch of heavy shit, right?
Yeah.
But you also mentioned joy.
Yeah. That's important to me. So, one of my books is How We Fight White Supremacy, and I always sign it like, I hope you found some joy and some hope here.
Mm-hmm.
And when people read it, they're like, oh shit, I laughed a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Or, damn, like I really connected with the work that this person is doing, and I might have cried a little bit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's important to me that, yeah, this shit's heavy, right? Like, white supremacy is heavy as fuck. It's trying to suffocate us every day. But there is not just a place for joy, but I think it's really an important mode of resistance. It's an important part of us being able to be our whole selves. Like, who are we if not funny as fuck as
Yeah.
Black people? Like, it don't take but 2 seconds on Twitter to figure that out.
Whenever there's like some shit going on in the world, I love running to Twitter because
Black folks
Niggas are going to make it the best.
no,
Like
I fucking love us in a
I get
crisis.
joy. I'm like, oh, some shit burning down. Like that whole Capitol insurrection, bitch. I was on Twitter like, yeah, get them. What they saying now?
Well, and I think that our show contributes to that tradition, right? Of like finding joy and pleasure, um, even in the midst of shit that could be really fucked up. Like the sexual history of Black folks in this country is fraught as fuck.
As
But
fuck.
yeah, but we make space for it to be joyful and pleasurable and, not confined to some terrible ass box that racists want to put us in. And I think that informs all the rest of my work. It all kind of fits together like a weird ass puzzle. So that's most of what I do. I'm also a doula. It's been a while since I helped a baby come out into the world because, quite honestly, it was fucking with my anxiety. Having a young child and being on call for 2 weeks when somebody is close to delivering it had me all kinds of fucked up. Like not sleeping, you got to be able to answer the phone at 3 a.m. True story. If somebody's in labor and leave from wherever the fuck you at. And it was just too hard to do with a little person. So yeah, the last baby I helped was our homegirl's little fat child. I love that baby.
Oh, who
It's
I
cool.
am his fave.
You are his fave. It's true. But as his mama reminds him, I saw him before she
You know,
did.
actually he's now getting at the age where he's like just a rambunctious little thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that
And
I
he don't
get
like
his
to wear pants.
attention, I'll call them and I'll say, "Hey, I farted." And he just, oh,
Lord.
I know it's so gross because if my son farts, I can't stand it. But it's okay for him to do it in somebody else's house. So, yeah.
That's awful. But so yeah, that's the other. What else do I do? So I watch Marvel movies right now.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, tell me about like an unknown love or an unknown hobby, something that you do that people would look at you and might not expect.
I mean, probably that. I used to watch them like in the theater, like night that they came out when I lived in New York. Like I saw Iron Man the night before it came out because I was in New York and we saw it in Times Square. That was a thing that I used to do all the time. And then my daughter hit that age where I couldn't take her ass to the movies no more because she
Mm-hmm.
started screaming at the screen like a nigga. And so I started like missing movies because I couldn't take her with me, and I couldn't leave her anywhere because she was attached to me at the boob. And then it just kind of got away from me. It started to feel overwhelming, like there was just too much for me to get back in. And then WandaVision happened, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna watch this. And man, WandaVision brings me so much joy. Like I work to get everything I have to get done on a Friday. I try not to work on Fridays. But like appointments or, admin, whatever the fuck. And then I lay on my couch by myself and turn the sound up and watch an episode of WandaVision every Friday. And it makes me so happy. But it also made me want to fill in like some of my knowledge gaps and make sure that I could get like all the Easter eggs and stuff. So I started a watch chronologically of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I'm like through Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I finished that last night as I was falling asleep.
So this is Kenrya with anything she does. Like, see, I would just be like, "Ooh, this is cool. That was weird. That's weird. That's strange," and then just leave it at that. Whereas Karen's like, "I need to do a deep dive and a
Girl,
148
yeah.
hour uh
I
watch."
read reviews after I watch the show. What's so funny is that my
I just do
partner is the
Wikipedia
same
searches.
way. I do that too. But with that though, with that show, like there's all these Easter eggs and interconnected stuff. And it's a community. And, shit, I like a community. We building one. But my partner's the same way. So we're right now very much into like Korean, um, I don't even know what genre to call this shit. It's we just watched anti porno over the weekend and that was
Huh?
interesting. Yeah, I can't even really describe it. You're gonna have to look it up.
Okay.
um and The Handmaiden, and like we was just been watching a lot of foreign films, but it's great. Like we watched them, and then he and I both like had to Google and look to see what actor was in this and were they in this other movie that we watched. Oh shit, they are, because he's really good at remembering faces, and I suck at it and don't remember it's the same person that we saw in this other movie. Like, oh my god, we watched this amazing movie called Raw last weekend. That is not Korean. That was French, I think.
Okay.
Lord have mercy. Anyway, so another thing is that I love movies in general, not just Marvel movies. Movies, great TV. I just, I don't know. I like media, which is, I guess, a good thing because I work in it. But yeah, what
Okay.
I don't really do are reality shows, which you know.
Bitch, I love me a good reality show.
I
And I love
know.
highbrow and lowbrow reality show. I love, if ever there's a thing, it's highbrow. But I love the Housewives and I love the Chasing Atlantas.
Yeah, I like competition shows. Like I watch like baking shows, competitions, and like things where there's some kind of a skill involved. I watch the fuck out of those. And me and my kid watch like Zumbo, like all the good baking shows on Netflix we watch.
Yeah, that's what she makes me watch.
Mm-hmm. That's
Okay.
good. Yeah.
Alrighty. Next questiones.
Ooh, okay. So, you were saying like you have a day job and now you have erotic escapes and you're working on your sex education
Empire.
education. Yeah, yes, Empire.
Mhm.
How did you get here?
Well, I don't know how far back I should go. Um, in high school, I won a beauty pageant, and as a result of the beauty pageant, I won a full ride scholarship to Howard, and I ended up at Howard,
Yes,
um,
ma'am.
which completely changed my life. Like, best decision, hands down, I've ever made. Well, one of the best. I can't say B because I don't know what else I'm missing. But one of the best
I'm about to
decisions I
say,
have
you got a
ever
whole ass
made.
kid, so.
Yes, but one of the best decisions I had ever made. And I mean, well, yeah, I guess kids are decisions, but anyway,
They
um,
absolutely are, one way or the
yes,
other.
yes. So, ended up at Howard and got my degree in Afro studies. I didn't even think about it now that like I do so much with black people. I'm literally
Hmm.
just now connecting that like right now that I do so much with black
In the
people and I
moment.
majored in Afro studies in college. At the time I was just like I was a first generation college student. I was like I'm here, I'm going to enjoy this shit. My
Mm.
family fucking tripped because they were like, "You supposed to be a teacher, doctor, lawyer. What the fuck are you doing?"
Hmm.
I circled back around a teacher, but I'm teaching about like sex now. But ended up here, Afro Studies major, graduated, just kind of stayed in the DC area, never left. And then, DC is the land of government, associations, and nonprofits. And so I kind of ended up in that area of uh of the world. And throughout this entire thing I've had Killa Ken as my best friend. We pledged our sorority together, and I felt like we always did things that like did such different things in life. But as I think I come back to closer to who I am, what we're doing aligns so much more. And so
Mm.
when Killa called me one day and was like, "We need to do a podcast," because everybody thinks they should do a podcast. But when she was like, "We should do
Yeah.
a podcast," I was like, "Okay, let's do it." And the turn on was born, and the turn on has kind of led me into again getting back to who I am, and that's how the sex education piece came about, and then I it's hard to say. I mean, I know I was like, "How did you get here?" But I just got here by, and this is so weird for me to say because I'm usually one with the plan, but I got here by just kind of following the path that the Lord has put out in front of me. I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of stepped and was like, "What's happening next?" And then the step pops up, and I'm like, "Well, I guess I'm going left." So,
Faith.
yeah. What about you? How'd you get here?
So I too had a full ride to Howard. Uh, it was academic. I had to get the hell out of Ohio,
Mhm.
like period. The end. Great place to be from, but not where I wanted to live anymore. And came here, majored in journalism, but my specialization was PR. Uh,
Which has been helpful for
It
us here at the
has.
Turn On.
Yes. But I got bored while I was still in school. I started interning in like fucking high school. So like halfway through school, I was like, oh, this ain't for me. I'm bored.
Mhm.
And so basically just kind of got excused from all the rest of my PR classes and focused on print and ended up working in magazines. And I did that for a few years. So I guess I still kind of do that. I do a lot of shit. Moved to New York after graduation, worked in magazines, went to grad school and got a degree in publishing because I thought I wanted to start my own magazine. That was like always my ambition. That was my little spunky black girl thing. Until I realized I didn't actually want to do that shit either. Which really happened after I got laid off from a magazine that I was working at right at the heart of the recession or the beginning of the recession. And I was applying to all of these jobs. And, well, that's not true. I was looking at all these jobs. And I was like, yeah, I
This
don't
ain't
want a
for
job.
me.
Yeah, like legit was just like, I don't want a job. I don't want somebody else back over my shoulder. How about I use this time to try to build a freelance business while I have unemployment? And so that's what I did. And after about a year of freelancing, I moved back to the DC area because I was kind of close to wanting to have a kid, didn't want to do it in the city, wanted to be back down in this area close to my friends and my chosen family. And
Your friends.
yes, and so did that and steadily like built up my business and started writing books. Like just kind of started, like had ideas and was like, fuck it, let me try. And which is a lot of, I think, kind of related to the way that you're saying, like you just kind of stepped.
Mhm.
So much of my career has been me taking steps and then asking myself questions
Mhm.
and asking God
Whip.
questions. Yes. So,
Mhm.
like, the big question I ask myself right now is, does this bring me joy? I am super blessed in that I have a constant stream of consulting and freelance work. And lately, and I've been talking about this on our social media a lot, like I have been asking myself, does this bring me joy? And oftentimes the answer is no. And so I say no to work.
Mhm.
Um, my bills don't like it, but they get paid
The universe provides.
every time. Jehovah Jireh, yo, like God always provides. And so I remember that and I try to constantly shift my work closer to joy every time. So if I get into a contract and realize, oh, I don't like these people. I don't I don't
Mhm.
like this work. I feel stressed out just thinking about having to work on this contract. I finish my work up, I deliver, and then I leave and I don't
Mhm.
do anything with them anymore. And I don't burn bridges, but I also just remember how those gigs make me feel or those people because sometimes it's the folks you work with and not the work. And remind myself that like I didn't quit jobs in order to work on shit that I didn't love, right? So like my last job, which I quit last year, I was the senior editorial director at Color Lines. I always wanted to be an editorial director or an editor in chief. Like that was my, 20 something year old Kenrya's dream. And then I,
Got there and was
got
like,
there and was like, yeah, because so much of running a show is administrative and managing up as opposed to doing the work that you love that
Mhm.
got you there in the first place. And I just, that's not what I wanted. That's not how I wanted to spend my days. I was spending so much time um, managing things that, in the grand scheme of things, didn't feel important and weren't feeding me and definitely weren't giving me any joy, that I'd be too exhausted to do the things that I loved. And so,
Girl.
yeah. And so like when I find myself, like I think like day before yesterday, I got up and I was like, I don't know, it was like 10 o'clock or something. And I was like, oh, are you behind? And I had to stop myself. Like I hadn't gotten enough stuff done. I was like, behind what? Like, bitch, you set your schedule.
Yep.
The work will get done whether you started at 10 o'clock or started at noon. You'll get it done. Like there, you don't have a boss. Be like, just relax and be kinder to yourself. And so that is really like a big part of my journey right now, is remembering that I am supposed to be building a life that I adore. And that comes with building days that I enjoy and not just days that I'm working to get through. I don't want to spend all my time trying to get to Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! All right.
Yeah.
What's the most fun thing about what you do?
Well, if I'm doulaing, it's when the babies finally come and I get to see their little fat faces. The show, my favorite thing is honestly just fucking cooning with you. Yeah, it's fun. Like, y'all, I get to spend my days twice a
Kicking it
week.
with my
Yeah.
best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's just dope. It don't really get too much better than that. And then with the writing and stuff, it's like when the book is done, but before I have to start promo.
That little period of time.
Yeah, or I get to look at it, but I ain't got to go talk about it yet.
That's dope.
What about you?
Yeah, for me, like I definitely feel like not that I have made it there, but I see myself building the life that I want. You know, I mean, and it's the life that I want now, but like like you said, my job is to coon with my best friend. And
Yeah.
we have such a good relationship that even the work, we know like we know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and so we just like it just
And we
works, and I
grant each
love
other
it.
grace.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's just it's like it's great. You know, like Kenrya was having some health issues, and I was like, okay, don't worry, we're gonna move this. I'm gonna do it. And like being able to do that for my bestie was just like, oh, this is
Yeah.
great, you know? Or the time I ate an edible and forgot that we had a interview scheduled. Kenrya was like, okay, don't worry, we got it, you know? So
Yeah.
that is my favorite thing about the podcast. My favorite thing about sex education, I feel like I personally, my work with my journey through sex education had a lot to do with like my divorce and getting out, you know, and going through the uncoupling of a marriage or whatever. And I am so happy with who I am and where I am and how I express myself and how I feel and all that. And I love being able to help guide women, Black women, and femmes and non binary folk through that same process. And so, like, seeing them get that kind of joy that I have, I'm like, oh, I love it.
That's
So,
what's up. Yay. What's the most challenging thing about your work?
podcast stuff, social media. I hate social media. And not like just actually doing it. Like I love being on Twitter, like Kiki and all that. I love it. I love consuming it. It's just it is tough for me to do the promos. And Kenrya is so good at it. And then I'm like, hey y'all. So I mean it probably comes off a little different, but that's how I feel.
I'm about to say you come off great.
And least favorite part about the other part is just working my 9 to 5. Like I hate to say it, but I am hitting that point where my 9 to 5 is stealing from my energy to work on the projects that I want to work on. So I'm trying to transition, and that's scary, but fun.
Yeah.
And you want to know something else? every time, like, this is how you know you have like an amazing ass crew of people. I've made a pretty big announcement among my girlfriends. I made a declaration, things are happening. And every single time I tell one of them that, they are so excited for me.
Mm.
Like anybody else, um, not the, I just feel like the doubter in me, or like the, the old Erica is in the back of my brain, like, girl, you shouldn't be taking these big leaps. What are you doing? And all of my girls are
Mm.
like, bitch, fuck yeah, this is great. Do it. And I'm just like, whoa, and so it just feels so good to be surrounded by people that support you
Believe
like
in
that.
you. Yeah.
That was totally off topic, but what about
No,
you?
it
What is the
wasn't.
most challenging thing about what you do?
Um, I think maybe two things. One of them is just like breaking, like throwing away old scripts. So,
Mm.
when my brain is like, you know, hey, bitch, you might want to say yes to this work so your lights stay on. Um, Having to tell
Mm-hmm.
her to relax that we good.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is sometimes difficult, but getting much easier. It's honestly just like practicing coming out of a scarcity mindset and moving into one of abundance has been really, really helpful. And then I think the other one, honestly, and it's actually very much tied to that, is avoiding overwork. Um, I My therapist will say, if it weren't for HIPAA, that I'm a work addict, and I have to, like, I give myself time limits on how long I can work on things. I take breaks and I eat where I'm not allowed to like actually be working on anything. Like I have to read a book or maybe I can go on social media as long as I'm not working on social media. I have a hard stop time for working on client work Monday through Thursday. I have enforced that I no longer work on the show on the weekends, which you've been incredibly helpful with. Um, and I don't do work for anybody. Well, I give one of my clients 30 minutes on Fridays. um, because I was finding that 2 days just wasn't enough. And like some of it is just that my body is requiring a lot more rest these days. But a lot of it is just again like coming back to that whole what do I want my life to look like? Well, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I only want to work 4 days a fucking week. I don't want to, be rushing to the weekend and then end up spending the entire weekend at my computer, looking up and I've been working on this project for 5 hours. Like that is a thing that happens to me constantly on the weekends. And so, working to not overwork and to listen to my body and take breaks, even in the middle of projects, if that's what I need to do, has been challenging, but incredibly rewarding. And like the days when I do too much, like, I think Tuesday, no, yeah, oh God, yesterday. Um, I mean, I worked so many hours that I couldn't see straight. And, you know, I don't go to bed early, but I was in the bed at 9:30 last night.
Look at that.
Yeah, but it's not good. I was in the bed early because my body was so and my brain were so burnt, and I needed to edit this book that I'm working on. I needed to put in a smooth 90 minutes on that, but I couldn't. But see, I listened to my body and went to sleep anyway.
Yeah. And
There
you
was a
will,
time when I would have said fuck it and pushed.
yeah, and that's why I'm like, that's why I was like, oh yeah, because even hearing that you were like crazed and overworked, I haven't heard that. Not saying it hasn't been in a while, because I mean,
Hmm.
towards the end of the year last year, I was like, look, bitch,
Oh yeah, it was
worried.
too much.
But I think you're doing a really great job of like self regulation, which is
Thank
great.
you. I'm trying. It doesn't help that I get dragged in my therapy sessions if I don't. I guess it does
Yeah, yeah, it does
help.
help. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is a little known fact about some other shit you do?
Oh, I'm the intern books editor at Essence. I never say that. I do that. I edit the the book section. That's pretty big, I guess.
Okay.
That's something people don't know. Mhm. I can't
Okay.
think of nothing else. Uh, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I just got a dope fellowship.
Congratulations. Round
Yeah.
of applause. Baby, make that ass clap.
Hey. Yeah. So
Stripper
that's
clap.
cool. I think that'll
Um,
be announced in between when we record this and when this goes up.
result, yeah. If not, we'll edit it out
Yeah.
now. Okay.
What about you?
Um, I knit. Does that count? I'm working on a
Wait, you
scarf.
knit?
You
Did
know
I
what
know
I
that
knit?
you knit?
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
working on a
think
scarf right
so.
now. It's kind of one of those things that I do that allows me to just kind of turn off my brain and keep my hands moving. So, yeah. And
I tried to do
it's been
that
very, I
one.
mean, like I'm not good at it. I don't know how to do anything other than like square or
A scarf
rectangle
or
items.
yeah.
Um, but it's just something that like kind of helps me just do, it just I don't have to think about it. It's just kind of just keep going.
A
So,
thing. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's dope.
Mhm.
I
Um,
tried to learn how to knit. I bought, or no, I didn't buy it. I got like a little kit. I think when I worked at Reader's Digest, because I used to make all kinds of shit, and there was like a knitting kit, and I never got good.
yeah, I mean, I adore people that can do like an amazing job. I can't. But it's more about just being able to sit and turn off my brain and do some stitches and, like cuz when I get anxious, I have all this energy and I need to be doing something and so that helps.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So,
So what's next for you?
what's next?
Complex
Well,
saviors and
yes. So, Complex Saviors is next, and that's really it. I'm kind of in that vein of the whole I'm saying no to things.
mhm.
I'm not taking on any other big projects. And the fellowship, one of the reasons that it's awesome is that it kind of affords me the opportunity to say no to a few things.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I don't have to take on the what I call the low reward projects in order to um, pay those bills that's over there shooting lasers at me. It allows me to spend a little bit more time actually writing on this project that I'm super passionate about. So yeah, I guess
Good.
it's that. And season 4 of the Turn Off,
Season 4
which
out
is
this
coming
bitch.
next
Season
week.
4 out this motherfucker.
What about you?
Um, I am working on ways to transition from my 9 to 5 into my empire, Erica's empire. That's what the folder's called on my computer.
Yes.
Uh, so I'll be launching my erotic revolutionist website soon. I am doing this thing called the erotic escape. I don't know how I think one is going to eat the other, but for now they're two
Mm.
separate entities. The erotic escape, I'm selling sex toys and um, consulting with couples about ways to improve their intimacy and spice up their sex life. And again, I don't fucking know, but I
Yes,
just
you
feel
do.
like I'm bubbling with lots of
Yes,
new
you do.
things. So, yeah, we'll see.
You know.
I know, but I don't. I know that there are new things. I don't know what it's going to look like in the end, right?
Mm,
So
hmm.
that's where I am.
Okay. That's
But
what's
I'm very excited about it. I used to like old Erica 4 years ago would have been like freaking the fuck out right now because
mm.
she has no idea of what's next. Erica now is like, I don't fucking know. But guess what? I'm gonna be good one way or the other. So
Yes, it's true.
yeah.
That's what's
Mhm.
up. Where can folks connect with you outside of like all the show places?
My Instagram is the Erotic Revolutionist. We'll include a link. Uh, I'm not as active as I should be, but and then I my erotic escape website is the eroticescape.com, and I'm like peddling dicks and pocket pussies over there. Um, yeah, and just keep up on Instagram, and I have no problem using the turn on to like push my shit. So,
Yeah.
just keep following us on our socials, and you'll find me. What about you, Killer?
So I am Kenrya on all the things.
Everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. Kenrya. And my website is kenrya.com. I fucking love my website.
I fucking love your name because it's just like I can't get Erica.com. I want Erica.com. I can't get
um,
Erica.com. I think
Not even
Erica.com
with
is like
like all your names or some combination thereof.
a porn star or something. Oh,
Oh.
I do have EricaEaster.com.
Oh. Well, that's dope. What's wrong with that? That's your name.
Yeah, I do have EricaEaster.com. I just went to it.
See, look at
Um,
that.
alright.
Yeah, so that's where I am. That's where the latest on books and articles and appearances on other people's shows are housed. But no events because I ain't doing what? Events. Yeah, no, not
Yeah,
for like 6
and
months.
Kenrya might not say it, but follow us here, and I'll make sure I'm telling y'all about her projects.
Oh, thanks, Boo. Appreciate you.
Hmm.
Yo,
Okay. With that, this was your quickie.
yeah,
Is this the final quickie before season 4?
it is. Yeah, season
Okay.
4 starts next week.
Next week, motherfuckers. All
Live
right.
and in, well, not live, but on video. We gotta like be camera ready and shit. Marginally.
Yeah, I'm like, what does that mean? All right, y'all. Well, this is Erica and Killer, two hoes,
Making
making
it
it
clap.
clap.
Peace.
Bye.
This episode was produced by us, Kenrya and Erica, and edited by Ballistic. The theme music is from Brazy. Now you can support the Turn On and Get Off. Subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app, then drop us a 5-star review, and you'll be entered to win something that's turning us on. Just post your review and email us a screenshot at theturnonpodcast@gmail.com to enter. Our Patreon page is also live. Become a supporter today and you'll gain access to lots of goodies, including the Turn On Book Club and 2-for-1 raffle entries. And don't forget to send us your book recommendations and your sex and related questions. And follow us on Twitter at The Turn On Pod and Instagram at The Turn On Podcast. You can find links to books, merch, transcripts, guest info, and other fun stuff at theturnonpodcast.com. Thanks so much for listening, and we will see you soon. Bye.